Hey, welcome back to Olympic Coaching. Coach Caleb here. We're going to work through our hamstring mobility today. You ever tried to do a forward bending stretch where you're just trying to bend over and touch your toes? The truth is you don't make any progress whenever your muscles have to support your posture. So when you're doing that forward bending stretch, you may get a little bit of temporary relief because you do get a little bit of a stretch reflex there, but you're going to make a lot more progress if you do what's called a passive hamstring stretch. So when your muscles are not supporting you, you can really make some progress in lengthening those muscles and improving your mobility. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get on the floor. Follow along with me if you can. I have a pretty good resistance band here. It's pretty strong. And so I can double this over if I want to, or I can just hold it this way. You can also use a towel, a shirt, or a rope or anything like that that you can put around your foot that can allow you to kind of pull on this with your arms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down on my back and I'm going to put this band right below the ball of my foot. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out. Keep that bottom leg actively pressing down so that your toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling. Okay, the goal is to not let our toes turn out at all during this entire routine. We want to keep nice straight foot. Okay, so where I am here is I'm putting tension on that band. If this is a huge stretch for you, then great, you stay here and you should probably do this routine a little bit more often. But our goal is to be up here. We're pulling on this, providing resistance. What I want you to do is really relax this calf. You're not pressing against that band with the foot. You're allowing that band to pull your toes, to pull your foot back as you are stretching here, okay? If I'm pressing that toes up and I'm resisting that, I'm gonna get less of a stretch and I'm gonna end up stiff in the calf anyways. So I want to relax that calf muscle, let the ball of the foot be pulled down. This can even benefit your calf mobility as well. So I'm here. Now I'm going to hold this and I'm just going to breathe through my nose. I'm going to take deep breaths through my nose. Let that belly expand and see that belly raise up. Okay, and I'm going to hold this for between 30 seconds to a minute, whatever feels right. And if I can, every 20 seconds or so, see if I can pull a little bit harder, get another inch out of that. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this for about 30 seconds to a minute, whatever feels right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some movement. So adding movement continues to help deepen that stretch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resist this. I'm going to press my leg down while keeping tension on my hands. And then I'm going to use my hands to pull my leg up rather than lifting it with my leg. So I'm going to come up and down. I'm going to get this kicking motion. Every time I come up, I'm getting a little bit more of a stretch. So you come up and down, press that down with your glute, and then relax it to pull it up with your arms. Using a band kind of helps get a little bit of a reflex here, bouncing that up. Okay? So now that I've done 10 reps here, I might even be able to get a little bit further in this. Okay? But now we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to massage the nerve that's coming down, the sciatic nerve that's coming down all the way up from the spine through the pelvis down the leg. So I'm going to turn for you here so you can see this. Okay, normally you'd have your legs stretched out, but I'm just going to demonstrate this for you here. So I'm here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that foot so it's directly over that belly button here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knee, keeping my foot straight. And I'm going to keep pulling on that band or whatever you're using to hold your foot. And then you're going to straighten the knee while pushing the heel to the ceiling. Keep that foot relaxed. Bend the knee, push the heel. Bend the knee, push the heel to the ceiling. Bend the knee, push the heel to the ceiling. You're going to feel a big stretch and may even deepen coming all the way down into the glute. You may even feel this a little bit in your lower back, especially if you've been having any sort of symptoms of sciatica or you have a lot of lower back issues recently. So I'm here, I'm continuing to do this. Get 20 reps of this. Just bend and straight, bend and straight. Take your time on that. And then once we have finished 20 reps, now what we're going to do is we are going to drop the left hand down, or whichever side that you're holding, the opposite hand, and you're gonna keep a hold of that band and you're gonna drop it all the way over as far as your hips and your hamstring allow. You're gonna fight to keep that knee straight, keep that quad flexed, and you're gonna use your hand to pull this up. You're gonna feel a big stretch all the way down from the low back through the hamstring all the way to the heel. You might even get a little tingly here, and that's okay. This is safe. And then you just breathe. Oh yeah, feels good. Hold this for about a minute. You're gonna spend about 3 minutes total on each leg here. So I'll go switch legs. I'm gonna get a little bit more resistance on this leg so I can show you how to do this. So I'll just double that band over so it becomes like a double loop. So I get some really heavy resistance. Just give you another option here if you wanted to. So I have that pulling here. I'm gonna hold this here. Other leg is actively pressing down. And I'm pulling with my arms to force that hamstring to stretch. So my body is totally relaxed. My hamstrings are doing nothing to support me. And I'm using my arms to pull that leg up. So the leg is totally relaxed other than the slight engagement of the quad to keep the knee straight. So it's really allowing that full stretch to come, fighting against that reflex to resist the stretch. After about 20 seconds or so, I'm able to go a little bit further. Okay, now I'm going to pull that foot over slightly so it's just over my belly button, and I'm going to bend it straight. Push that heel to the ceiling. I'm going to go through this 20 times. Each time you're doing this, you're kind of massaging that nerve tunnel. You're creating tension in the system and then relaxing. Creating tension in the system and then relaxing. So I'm pulling that knee closer to the chest, kind of winds up the hand, gets a different part of the hamstring, gets a little bit more into the belly of the hamstring whenever I pull my knee to the chest and then I push my heel to the sky, straightening that leg. Starting to feel pretty good here. Okay, now I'm going to drop my hand down so my shoulder is in contact. And then I'm going to pull this leg over, keeping my hand engaged. And getting this nice stretch all the way down the side. Keeping that other leg stretched down in front of me. Keeping that actively pressing away from my body to that bottom leg should be nice and straight. And feeling that stretch. Fighting to keep my knee straight, keeping that thigh slightly engaged. And I'm just pulling to get a little bit deeper stretch out of this. Take a deep breath, feel that belly expand. Good, and this is your passive hamstring stretch routine. Huge for improving that hamstring mobility and really improving your movement for so many different movements, from hinging movements to squatting movements to even just keeping yourself happy, less stiff, and injury free. Enjoy this one, do this one on a regular basis to feel good.